Hey, Andreas, how are you?
Pretty good, Paul. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're talking customer success again today. So let's talk about metrics because, we're all analytical. We should be anyway, measuring. That's what we do here. Um, when you talk to or a, a prospect or even client, what are the key metrics that you look at to determine um, how well a customer success program is going at a company? I mean, because there's so many metrics out there. I know we like to say churn, things like that, but can you get a little more, slightly more granular on what you look at to improve performance?
Sure, Paul. Even though, like you said, there are tons of metrics out there, the most important is net revenue retention. How much of the revenue from an existing customer are you keeping on a year-to-year basis? Is that number shrinking or is it expanding? Then there are supporting metrics to that relates to customer satisfaction. What is your NPS score? For example, the top performers based on net revenue retention, 100% of them are using NPS and other CSAT metrics to measure not just customer success, but more the customer experience. Versus in companies with lower performance net revenue retention, only 50% of them are using NPS. You can also look into the profitability of your customer over the lifetime and other operational metrics. And one of the things that I'm doing is not just build a model to take 20 or 50 different data sources and throw them into one, but basically weed out the ones that don't matter and put the right weighting factor on those that matter the most so that you can get to the holy grail predictability of a customer renewing or expanding, or in turn, predictability of when you have an issue with a customer to interfere before it is too late.
Yeah, good stuff here. I know one thing I've always wondered about. I know there's tools that measure it. Is hey, my customer's not logging in as much as they used to. What's going on, right? Are they starting to look
For
at other
example,
tools, right?
exactly, yes. So there are usage metrics, there are metrics that look at the number of incidents, that look at the number of feature requests, etc., etc. But just taking those into account, not knowing how relevant they are, not taking into account if this is a new customer, if this is an existing customer, etc., doesn't make too much sense. And then the customer success team is actually paralyzed through the analysis and not knowing where to go next. And that is, of course, very detrimental to the overall experience to the customer. And you lose more than you gain by measuring too much. That's why it is key to know what to measure. And this is not something that I could write up in a book. I wish I could, but that is something that has to be looked into because there are many contributing factors on the relevancy and efficacy of any type of metrics. I have some pretty good ideas where to start it, but it takes a couple of experimentation cycles to really get to an optimum level.
Sure, sure. Yeah, trending of like anything is important. Have enough data to make decisions before you don't want to do anything too rash, but enough to say, here's some triggers and some trends that we should look at.
Exactly.
Okay, great.